What's up guys, it's Neonate with another Settlers of Catan gameplay. I'm making these videos to help you be a better Catan player and beat all your friends at home. Let's take a look at the board. I'm in the third position with blue going first. Blue right off the bat takes the 5, 9, 10, which looks to me like a great spot worth 11 points. Next to the best ore, as you know, that's the first thing that I look at is where are the ores. And it's also worth 11 points, so very good production, which is also important. And he heads over to that sheep port, which I think is reasonable. Orange quickly takes the 369, that's worth 11 points, and heads towards the coast. So I'm in the third position. As you know, when going third, I recommend taking the most rare resource. There's plenty of opportunity to get ore, so I don't need to be greedy about getting next to one of these ores. Seems like sheep is pretty available as well. Wheat arguably is a problem, but I can probably either take the 4, 5, 11 or the 4, 8, 10. Looks like brick is a little bit hard to come by, so it might be a reason to take this. I don't like that there's a lot of wheat here. Wheat and brick don't go well together. You need wood. Well, I guess this 3, 4, 8 would be good. It's got wood, sheep, and ore, and I think that might be a good spot for me. The alternative that I'm thinking about is this 2, 9, 10. It gives you a free road if you take that as your second spot. So that's sort of the tricky advanced move. So I would look for wheat and sheep. Wheat, sheep in my placement. So I might take the 5, 6, 11 for instance, and then do that tricky move. But that doesn't give me enough wheat. So I'm thinking the 4, 8, or else I could take the 5, 8, 10 and then take the 4, 5, 11 as my second move and just go all city night with nothing else. But I'm going to go with this 4, 8, 10, 11 points, a ton of wheat. I hope this doesn't attract the robber too much. Anyway, I want to let you guys know that I'm making this video live. It's December 28th, 5 minutes to 1 West Coast time. One of the comments that I got was, I got 2 comments. One is asking me if I make these videos live or if I record them after the fact. And generally, in the early videos, I recorded them live. And after a while, I started recording them after the fact. It was just a little bit easier for me. But this one will be live. So looks like white is going for the city night strategy. Took the 3, 4, 8 and the 3, 5, the 5, 6, 11. So that's 21 points total. Tons of sheep, lots of ore, very weak on the wheat, which may be her Achilles heel. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, I guess. It gives me this 5, 8, 10 spot, which is worth 12 points. The ore is a little weaker than I would like. I'll have to head over to probably this 3, 1 port to supplement that. The tricky move of going the 2, 9, 10, I don't think it really makes sense. Someone else is going to take this 5, 8, 10, so I'm going to take that one. So that spot is worth 12 points plus my original 11, so I'm at 23. I'm suffering from an issue of having the same numbers, 2 8s and 2 10s. And, that's not something I typically like if I can avoid it, because it means it'll be a feast or famine situation. You'll be getting no cards or you'll be getting a ton of cards. And so you'll either be doing nothing or you'll be at risk of, a 7 being rolled. So that's not the best scenario. So even though I have 23 points, I'm not in love with my opening spots. Orange takes the 3, 10, 11 as her second move. That's 7 points, plus her original 11 is 18 points. Has all resources, pretty weak on the ore, wheat, sheep, pretty strong on the wood, brick. pretty close to each other, so she can potentially connect. So I'm going to peg her as the road threat. Blue makes a somewhat aggressive move, pointing towards orange. You kind of don't want to have an early feud with someone, because guess what? She's going to steal from you to stop you from building. So blue, second spot was worth 9 plus his original 11. So he's at 20 points with no sheep. And orange just cuts him off. I rolled a 7. I'm really fearful of white, to be honest. So I'm just going to block her, the one thing she really, really needs. But it looks like I'm just blocking everybody on a low number. But I'm already thinking about white. So blue, like I said, 20 points. You know, he's doubled up on 9s in terms of wood. So a bit of an imbalance of wood and brick. No sheep. It's unclear what his strategy is going to be, because the port that he pointed at, he can't really use. Arguably, he should have taken this 6, 11, 12. That might have been stronger for him. But I guess that's a weak wheat. Oh my gosh, I have so many cards. This is the feast or famine thing I was talking about. Let's see if anybody will trade me an ore. See if anybody will trade me. Oh, wow. Orange will do it. Trading me 1 for 1 on my turn. Okay, I like that. The thing is, I don't know if I want to upgrade right away. Shoot. I don't know if I want to upgrade. Do I want to upgrade or buy development cards? You know, I'm going to buy development cards. I don't want to pull out into a lead. And at least I can keep the robber off of my 10. That's really the key to victory here. The second comment that I got was, hey, why don't you post some videos where you lose? And yeah, I'm happy to do that. I've got plenty of games where I lose. You may or may not know, but hold on, let me finish this trade. But on Play Catan, there is a statistics site where you can, you know, look up players and see what their stats are in terms of wins and losses. It's a little bit clunky. You have to play with the filters to really find people, you know, but if you look for people who've played more than 100 games or 200 games, and then I think you sort it by quota, which is how they call win percentage. And then you can search by my handle, Neonate, then you'll be able to find me. But then you can see a good history of all the games I've played, you know, the opponents and which opponents I've played, you know, most frequently and that sort of thing. But anyway, my point in directing you to those stats is that, okay, I've got 9 cards, 2 knights. I'm just going to roll the dice because I don't want to piss anybody off just yet. Let's see if I can get a wood. Blue was willing to trade for sheep because he's got no sheep access. Okay, he's willing to do it again. So this gives me the port that I need. And I'm just going to buy another development card just to not look too crazy far ahead and keep that knight off of me. Okay, so I think white and I are going to start doing battle here. Good, I'm glad he took my sheep and not my wheat. 5 rolls, so that gives ore to folks. But anyway, talking about stats, if you look at my stats, I think it'll show something like I've played almost 2,000 games, which is mind-boggling, even to me. You know, I've primarily been playing 4-player games. I just like that more. I think it's more competitive. There's more of a struggle and competition with the other players. But anyway, I've been able to win about, I think, 48% of my games, which I'm, don't get me wrong, I'm psyched about that stat. That I can win 1 out of every 2 games with 4 players. I'm pretty happy about that. And, definitely I filter the game so that I only play with folks that have 3 stars or above. And that means folks that have completed more than 20 games, I believe, and who have completed more than 90% of those games. I just don't have time to deal with kind of people who are new to the game or new to the interface. And so I'm mostly playing with relatively experienced folks, though, people have mentioned in other videos that, oh God, your opponents totally suck. Well, I think it varies. But for the most part, I've tried to, not play against complete rank amateurs, I guess. So blue steals from me and he upgrades. So he's at 3 points with 1 development card. So my point about that was that I certainly lose as many, if not more, games than I win, and I'm happy to post them. And I think it'll indicate that there is some arbitrariness between winning and losing. I mean, the dice definitely play into it. Okay, so now orange going after me as well. So I think it's time for me to move the robber. I think I really want to block wheat, but just that 11 doesn't seem productive enough. So I definitely don't want to give the impression that I only win at Catan, because I definitely lose. And so we'll see how this goes. This is pretty close right now. It looks like I have 3 points, though I do have 2 victory points, which is pretty lucky. My hurdle is really going to be upgrading this 5, 8, 10. Would love to upgrade this 4, 8, 10. Then I'll be golden, I think. And I got to fight for army really right now. White can only go for army. Blue probably will go for road. And then orange should go for road. So my main competition is white. Wow, and she makes an aggressive move. I think that might get blue's attention. Because even though that port doesn't help him, I'm sure he's not going to just give it up. So he puts it on that 3 wood. Goes after white. So it's kind of predictable, right? When you make an aggressive move like what blue did or what white did, all of a sudden the other player's like, whoa, what's going on? And white leaves the game. We'll see if we can get a substitute. All right, looks like we have a new player for white. White is looking for wood, offering 2 sheep. Don't have it. She probably wants to extend to that sheep port. I could give her 2. Let's see if she would trade ores. Then she could trade 4 sheeps for a brick. I know she wants that brick. No, I guess she doesn't have ore. She's looking for... she has 2. I'm telling her she can trade 4 sheeps in. Seems to like repeating trades. Now offering... I guess she didn't have the wood. Okay, there she goes. Cuts off blue. So I think getting that sheepport will be huge for her. Blue rolls a 7. White has no cards, so I'm guessing he's going to come after me. Orange also has 3 points, and nothing's really going to stop her from connecting whenever she wants. So he blocks the 10. Hope he doesn't take my ore. He takes from orange. So I've got a good brick. I may want to block this 6 brick. Red is, blue is also looking for brick. So he has wood. But I can't block his brick without blocking my own. He's going to make another step to the 3-8. Probably better for him would be to get to wheat. Sorry, get to that 3-1 port. So I have 7 cards, so I'm not going to use my knight. Because if you get to 8 cards and roll a 7, that would be a disaster. So fortunately I didn't do that. I'm going to go ahead and block. I'm afraid of white, but I'm gonna draw from blue. So I look like I have 3 points right now. Do I want to step up to 4? I'm gonna buy a development card. Wow. Shoot. I'm gonna hold here. Even if I bought another knight, I wouldn't want to use it. White is asking if we can play faster. Blue draws from me. He took my sheep. He has a sheep and a wheat. I'm gonna try to pluck from white. So I got another knight. I'm well poised to take army. I really need some 10s to roll. At some point I gotta bite the bullet and upgrade. Trade in some stuff for ore. This 10 is just not hitting. Let's see if I can get anybody to trade me. I'll even trade white. Wow, I got 2 takers here. That'll let me upgrade. I really need ores to hit. Let's take a look at the stats. Only 2 10s so far. Now that I've upgraded this great spot, it goes from 12 to 24. And so I think folks will be blocking this 10 ore, but that'll open up the 5 and the 8, which will let me use the 3 for 1. So I'm pretty happy about that. I have 6 points, looks like 4, but I've got all these development cards. White is really struggling, looking for a brick. Trades in sheep for brick. An 8 is rolled. Blue, unable to do much. A 3 is rolled. That's wooden sheep. So now orange is at 4 points, really 6. Just got to keep her in check. Gosh, let me see if anybody will trade, just because I kind of have nothing to do. I've got a road building, so I could do something tricky too. I could take long road. That's really what I should be trying. I've got 2. I can use road building to get to 4 and then extend 1. So I just need to build 1 road and then show a knight. Well, I can't use two development cards at on the same turn. So I have to do 1 at a time. Everyone's looking for brick. Otherwise, I could use my road building to build a settlement here and a settlement there. That'll get me to 8 points as well. I have to be careful of blue making another step and taking the port, because he desperately needs a port. Okay, but instead he takes the 3-8. Maybe he'll take this wheat port, but I think that's a little bit too slow. I'm glad no 7s are rolling. And blue stays blocked there. Okay, so now I can't do that strategy where I sneakily take long road by surprise. Let's see if I can get another. So now white has a sheep port, but she's a little bit behind in the army game. So she's got no development cards. She rolls a 6, which is a brick sheep roll. So she's got 1 knight. She's looking for ore as well. Blue has 1 development card he hasn't used this whole time. So it could be, well, it's not going to be a knight, I'm pretty sure. Orange may have 7 points, so she'll need to upgrade at some point. She can build 1 more settlement. So I'm going to keep my eye out on 10. 10s are good for me, but they're also good for orange. Blue, a bit of a broken record, still looking for brick. Trades in wheats. Probably going to head towards that wheat port. Eventually he might be able to connect and take long road. We'll see about that. An 11 rolls, which is wheat for everybody else. I've got 9 cards. I don't want to play my knight to get ahead. There's that 5. Shoot. So let me see if anybody will trade anything. I'm going to say anyone for anyone. Because I do have a road building. Okay, so what can I do? I can trade. Do I want to buy more development cards? I don't think so. Maybe I'll just upgrade this 4-8-10. Yeah. I think that's the most sort of lethal thing to do. You know, I really don't need another port. And I can just keep fueling my 3-1 port. This gave me an additional 11 in terms of production. This would only give me additional 5. You know, the really killer move could have been to use long road and then get over to the wheat port. But I think then you have blue attacking you the whole game. So now white has 2 knights showing. Depending on how close it is, I may not show my knight. So she's got 4 points, and that, you know, if a bunch of 6s and 8 rolls, we're gonna have some trouble. And if she upgrades that 3-4-8, she'll be tough. So she just got 2. That was the ore roll, the 5. And now in the late game, you gotta watch out for monos. Orange looking for ore, so she needs to upgrade. Still no 10s. Well, there were 2 10s, but since I last checked, there have been no additional 10s. So I've got 10 cards. I'm not going to play my knight because it's not in danger. There's the 7. That's okay. What do I want to do? I think I'll toss that. I'll try to get an ore from these folks. orange is a bit of a danger, so might be a good idea to... I kind of want to take from white, but I'm going to go after orange. Let's see if I can get a wood out of somebody. I guess I just need to build one more thing. I guess I have to pass. I could trade those sheep in for wood, but I'm afraid people will steal from me, so I'm just going to hold on. All I need to do is build one more settlement. Ah, shoot. You know what I should have done? I should have played the road building now. Well, I guess there's no safe place to go. Well, I could have gone road building here to go to the 2-5. Then that way, that secures that I can get the settlement and then reveal the knight on the next turn for the win. So I think that was a mistake. White now upgraded, so she's a super danger, but at 5 points. So I gotta take army if she gets a development card. Cannot let somebody take it so close to the game, so close to the end. Orange still looking for ore. Orange looking for wood. So she doesn't have a port either, so that's why it's difficult for her. So the question is, do I want to use my knight right now? I think I still want to wait. Gosh, there's some wood. So I think, let me see if someone will just trade me a wood. So she'll trade me the wood. Let me see. So I think I've got the lock, right? Because I'll just play my road building. Actually, can I build two? Actually, I think I can win it right here. No, I can get to 9 points, right? I can make two more, a wood and a brick. That'll get me to 9. Right? Am I doing that right? A wood brick. That'll give me 2 more sheep. That'll give me... I guess that works. Sure. Anyway, this is just academic, really. So I have 9 points. When I show my knight, I'll have 11. I was just thinking I could have just gone here and just... you know, and I'd win with 10 points, but I guess that maximizes my usage of cards, and I'm not afraid of white taking army. The only fear might be there's a mono out there, so it's good to use up my cards. So once I show the knight, I'll have 11 points. White trades for a brick. Head towards that ore port. I'm still curious what that development card blue has. I guess it's a point. So he's at 6. He's at 7. If he extended, he could get to 9, I guess. Orange at 7, maybe 8. And I'll play my knight. For the game. Alright, that's 11 points. Well, to recap this one, I mean, I think this was somewhat straightforward. I mean, I think the most important thing was really to know who was going for what in this game. For me, I was definitely more scared of white, and I tried to keep her blocked at all times where, you know, when I could, even though I was pulling cards away from the other players who maybe had higher point totals. I recognized orange was going for road, and I kind of just let her do her thing. You know, I let blue kind of do his thing. He didn't really have a clear path to victory. Didn't have a lot of potential for either road or army. You got to have that in mind as you're playing, which one you're going to go for. And so I kind of ignored both of them and just kept white in check. You know, white started to make a run for it at the end of the game, but I had bought enough development cards to basically keep army, and then I increased my production. My production here at the end is huge, right? Just these two cities doubled my original settlements from, what did I say, 23? So I was at 46 just from those two alone. And so that's 46 over 36. That's, you know, a card and a third per turn, which is just gigantic. So hope you guys like the video. Hope you guys let me know if you like it live or not, or if you don't care. I'll try to deliver on a losing game next time. Thanks, guys.